Mbeji, a woman with a mysterious presence, lives with her husband Ogudu in a quiet village near a flowing river. Known for her gentle nature, Mbeji cares deeply for her family, although she often appears tired and distant. Villagers are curious but respectful, sensing there's more to Mbeji than meets the eye. Ogudu, a fisherman, is charming but irresponsible. He neglects his duties, preferring to gamble and wander with friends. Despite Mbeji's warnings, he spends little time with his family. Mbeji remains silent, pouring all her love into their 4 children while quietly observing Ogudu's actions. Mbeji's patience is tested as Ogudu's behavior grows more reckless. He often returns home empty-handed, leaving Mbeji to stretch meager resources to feed the family. She takes on extra work in the village, respected by everyone for her endurance and grace. Ogudu's carelessness starts to affect the children, who feel the strain of their father's absence. Mbeji watches them grow hungrier and more sullen, and her heart aches. Rumors circulate in the village about Ogudu's gambling, but Mbeji refuses to shame him. Late one evening, Ogudu comes home with a strange fragrance clinging to him. Mbeji suspects he's been unfaithful, but she chooses silence, hoping he might return to the family fully if she remains patient. Yet her silence is heavy, hinting at an inner storm. The village notices Mbeji's fatigue. She works tirelessly to care for the children, yet Ogudu continues his behavior unrestrained. Elders approach Ogudu to discuss his responsibilities, but he brushes them off, feeling invincible in his ways. Mbeji starts to withdraw from the village social gatherings, instead spending more time by the river. Villagers notice her detachment and whisper about the deep sadness in her eyes. Unknown to them, she's communing with nature, her true origins stirring within her. One evening, Mbeji's oldest child asks about their father's absence. Mbeji comforts the child with a story of loyalty and sacrifice, telling them that family always comes first, no matter the hardships. Her words hold a depth the children do not yet understand. Ogudu spends more nights away from home, and Mbeji's tolerance begins to fray. One of her closest friends, sensing Mbeji's sorrow, advises her to stand up for herself. But Mbeji remains quiet, contemplating deeper matters than mere arguments. An argument finally erupts when Ogudu drunkenly returns home, dismissing Mbeji's questions. He belittles her, and Mbeji's eyes flash with a chilling calmness. She wonders how long she can endure the weight of her family's suffering without revealing her true nature. Mbeji begins to dream of water, rivers, and pythons. The dreams feel vivid, stirring memories of another life. She wakes each morning with a sense of growing power, an internal strength she has not tapped into for years. Mbeji's transformation becomes more apparent, though subtle. Her skin seems to shimmer in the sunlight, and her gaze holds a strange intensity. Ogudu, too preoccupied with his other life, fails to notice the change in his wife. The children sense something strange about their mother's aura. They cling to her, drawn to her presence and the warmth she gives, even as they grow wary of their father's temper. Mbeji protects them fiercely, her emotions brewing beneath her calm demeanor. Ogudu's gambling debts mount, and he becomes more aggressive. He lashes out at Mbeji, blaming her for their misfortunes. Mbeji remains calm, but her patience thins, her once loving gaze becoming cold and calculating. In her frustration, Mbeji begins to explore her own powers. One evening by the river, she practices transforming her skin to scales, discovering a part of her that she'd kept hidden. Her power feels liberating, a reminder of her true self. Mbeji's nocturnal transformations deepen as her anger builds. She silently vows to protect her children from Ogudu's neglect, even if it means embracing her python spirit fully. Her children sense a distance but find comfort in her protective aura. Villagers begin noticing strange occurrences around Mbeji's home. Shadows that seem to move, mysterious hisses in the night. They suspect something supernatural but dare not speak about it openly, unsure of the spirit they may anger. Mbeji's closest friend warns her that she's in danger of losing herself if she lets her anger consume her. Mbeji thanks her friend but knows that her destiny is tied to her family's well-being, even if it means revealing her true identity. Ogudu's behavior reaches a breaking point when he threatens to abandon Mbeji and the children. Mbeji, her patience exhausted, contemplates her next move. She prays by the river, seeking guidance from the spirits of her ancestors. One night, Ogudu comes home in a drunken rage, pushing Mbeji too far. She reveals her python form in a burst of fury, her skin shimmering with scales as she towers over him, casting a chilling curse upon her husband. Ogudu's reaction to Mbeji's true form is one of horror and disbelief. He stumbles back, unable to comprehend the transformation. The villagers hear his cries but are too fearful to interfere, sensing a powerful curse at work. Mbeji swallows her children one by one, a protective gesture to keep them from harm. Each child enters her body, safe from the outside world and their father's reach. The villagers are horrified but too terrified to intervene. As Mbeji slithers away, Ogudu is left alone, now cursed with madness. His mind begins to unravel as he processes the loss of his family, unable to find peace or understanding. The next day, villagers discover Ogudu in a daze, wandering the village aimlessly. His once proud demeanor is replaced by a haunted look, his gaze distant and unfocused. Ogudu tries to return to his normal life, but strange visions and voices torment him. Mbeji's curse festers within him, an inescapable madness that grows with each passing day. The village elders hold a council to discuss the strange events. They decide to shun Ogudu, fearing that his cursed state might bring misfortune upon them all. Ogudu's mental state worsens as he begins to see Mbeji's eyes everywhere. He hears whispers in the night, calling him to the river where she vanished. Villagers avoid Ogudu, refusing to help him in his madness. He becomes a lonely figure, wandering the outskirts of the village, haunted by memories of his family. Ogudu is drawn to the river repeatedly, feeling Mbeji's presence. Each visit further fractures his mind, until he's lost between reality and madness, a shell of the man he once was. One night, Ogudu sees a vision of Mbeji in the water. Desperate for peace, he calls out to her, begging for forgiveness, but only silence answers him. The villagers begin to piece together the story of Mbeji's curse and Ogudu's betrayal. Her friend tells her tale, warning them never to mistreat those who are patient and kind. The elders interpret Mbeji's curse as a sign from the ancestors, a lesson to respect and cherish those who give without asking in return. Ogudu's presence becomes an eerie reminder to the villagers. They shun him completely, avoiding his haunted gaze and mutterings of Mbeji's name. The village holds a ceremonial dance by the river to honor Mbeji's spirit, asking for protection from her curse and forgiveness for Ogudu's betrayal. Ogudu is drawn to the river during the ceremony, his mind shattered. The villagers watch him with pity, fearing he's beyond redemption. Elders perform rituals to cleanse the village, marking Mbeji's transformation as a powerful spiritual warning. A wise elder retells Mbeji's story to the young, ensuring the lesson is passed down to future generations as a warning about betrayal and patience. Ogudu grows frail, his mind slipping further. He spends his days by the river, talking to himself and muttering to unseen spirits. Some villagers take pity on Ogudu, leaving food for him, but he's too far gone to notice their kindness. He lives in a world haunted by Mbeji's curse. Ogudu's last days are spent in solitude, a broken man haunted by his choices. The villagers remember him as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the cost of betrayal. The village passes down Mbeji's story through generations, teaching each child to respect and cherish their loved ones, or face the consequences of betrayal. Mbeji's spirit is said to live in the river, watching over the village and protecting those who live with integrity and kindness. Young children grow up with the story of Mbeji, and it becomes a lesson told around fires, cementing her legacy in village lore. Villagers continue to honor Mbeji with offerings by the river, asking for protection and peace, and to avoid a fate like Ogudu's. Mbeji's friend, now an elder, shares her memories of Mbeji, painting her as a loyal wife who only wanted the best for her family. Years later, a child claims to see Mbeji's spirit near the river. The village believes her, fearing the wrath of the python spirit but respecting her as a protector. Stories of Mbeji's power and patience grow, and her tale becomes known in nearby villages, spreading as a legend. Mbeji's tale inspires new rituals in the village to honor those who selflessly care for their families, remembering her endurance and strength. Ogudu's curse remains a warning to all who hear his story, a reminder